Okay, here we are at day 38. I got my woolly hat on because it's blooming freezing, and I've got another overlap video here where I did the throwing yesterday, and I've sort of force dried them today so I can get the turning done. I'm hand carving the bases of these, so it's slightly different to turning. I did the taller ones, which are these ones here. You've seen the video of that, or you will be seeing the video of that. I haven't videoed the making of the chawani, the lower ones, because I ran out of battery and I didn't want to charge it and wait, so unfortunately there's no throwing of those. But there's a throwing of these unomis, and there's the two different carvings of the two different T-ball bases. It will become clear when you see it. Here it is. Now these are T-balls that are going to have a crawling sheen on them with a little bit of cobalt blue brushwork on the outside. I'm going to also carve the foot rings on these rather than turn them. And just to deform them a little bit. A rib and put 3 stripes in it. And I'm using a wooden tool here because the metal one tends to cut clay away, whereas a wooden one pushes it into place. So I'm just flaring up the bottom of it, if you can see there. Just flaring up the bottom of it to give it a little bit of a lip. So when I come to carve it, I've got something to sort of work from. That's the idea anyway. These are sort of, well, the words you know me, which is sort of a T-ball. It's an everyday T-ball, taller than they are wide. And I shall do in a moment, I shall make some sort of chawan style, which is wider than they are tall. It's sort of a more open bowl. Chawan's traditionally used in the tea ceremony. It's a little bit like a coffee mug that you use every day, as opposed to a nice teacup and saucer that you have for guests. I think there's parallels in most cultures, and it's all about, I mean, people, you know, chawan, you know me, beaker, guinomi, whiskey cup, you know, they're all the same vessel really. It's just what we choose to call them. It doesn't really matter what you call them really, does it, I suppose, as long as they're nice to use and an interesting shape. What does it matter what we call things? Right, I'm just going to carve the foot ring on this. As you can see by the wobbly rim, There's no way I can get it in the Giffen grip to turn it, but I think these tea bowls, these Chawan style tea bowls, the shallow ones, work nicer with a carved base. What I do, if I get this in the centre, I visually imagine a circle here, but what I'll do is I'll put it on for you roughly with my fingernail. Hope you can see it. And then this is the carving tool, and what I do is I push the carving tool in to where the point of the tool meets the circle I want for the foot ring, and I just carve around it. So I get a nice almost circle. Gets it central, you see. Then I'm going at right angles to it. And it gives this really nice breaks as you're moving it. And then I carve off the edge. And this is just a sharpened piece of wood. Is a metal tool, if I can find it. Unprepared as usual. Here we go. This is a metal tool, and I hold it in one place, move the wheel, and that's more or less it. And then what I do is, there will always be a bit where it's slightly wider than the other, so I use that wider piece there for my stamp and press the stamp in, and that also puts it's part of the design of it, part of the effect I'm trying for, and that's it. What I've got here is two pieces of foam that protects the rim. These are out of my cone boxes, so that's how it sits there. Right, I'm just going to carve the foot ring on these tea bowls I threw yesterday. Imagine a circle in there, so I'll just put it on for you so you can see it. Get it in the middle. I don't normally do this, it's just so you can see where size I'm looking for. I put my thumb against the pot and push the wood in to the point of the wood reaches the circle there. That's usually an imaginary circle. And I just go around. And then go to right angles. And then finish off the corner. This is a lot softer than I would normally turn it, as in turn it with a turning tool. And I use a loop tool here. I used to try carving it with the wooden one, but I end up taking the bottom out of it, so I found a loop tool works better. And also it does, if you just flick it at the last second, that, you get a really nice little point and a little swirl at the end. It's just a question of smoothing it off. And there's always a slightly wider part. You can't get it uniform. I don't want it uniform. So that's the point at which I just put the stamp just on the edge of it, and that adds to the effect as well. All these little rough bits here I leave until it's dry, and then they just rub off. So that's a T-bowl, deformed with a curved base, with a carved base. Right, I'll do one now without talking. Right, that's it. Day 38 over and done with. Like I say, very cold. I've still got a few more of these to turn. I've just done a quick video for you now, and I shall get it edited for you. The book today is, it says, an autobiography of sorts. It's by Mike Dodds. I bought this from him. He signed it really kindly. I know Mike is a fantastic potter, and it is a really good book. And it's how he became a potter, right through to being one of the UK's best potters ever, really. Fantastic potter. And that's it. An autobiography of Mike Dodd. Today's book. See you tomorrow.